I am officially done with this car. Welcome back to the channel, Red SS here. Thanks for following, subscribing, liking, sharing. So don't forget to do that. Smash that like button and learn more about this car. I got lots of content on here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. If you're new to ownership, I hope you find some of this content and my channel useful. This Chevy SS 2016 model has over 100,000 miles on it. Exactly 115,000 miles as we speak. Actually 115,614 as I'm recording this video. A lot of miles per gallon. What do I mean by I'm done with this? Well, I'm done modifying it. I'm done as far as racing the car. Maybe I'll do another track day, maybe not, most likely not. I have pretty much parked this car, quote unquote, for the last year or more. Mainly since the pandemic happened. As some of you may know from the channel, my wife got a third car. It's a Genesis G70. She bought that about almost a year ago, and it's been fantastic. So we have 3 cars. I decided, you know, I'm not going to put any more miles on this car. I'm just going to daily drive the GTI, which I slightly modified after I started taking it over. You can check out the link to that video description somewhere here on the screen or at the end credits or in the video description below. I don't daily drive it to work. Yeah, I might drive it to work once in a while just for fun, keep the fluids going and keep it operational. And speaking of which, that's why I'm here. I'm here to kind of give you, if you're a new owner or you have questions, because I see a lot of common questions come up in the forums, on social media about these cars, because they don't make these anymore. So some great places to learn about them is online and from other users. So I'm going to share a few tips or things to be on the lookout or to be prepared for if you plan to own this car, or you want to buy this car, or not this particular car, but a Chevy SS, aka Holden Commodore SSV Redline. Some things that come up often. Number 1, magnetic ride control. That is a pretty common thing that comes up a lot of questions around that. From 2015, 2016, 2017, which was the final year, this one is a 2016, magnetic ride control shocks are known to fail. Not everybody, but enough to get the attention of the owners, potential buyers, things like that. I replaced my rear ones because they were slightly wet, and the tech said, yeah, you might want to be prepared to replace them. So I bought new magnetic ride shocks. I didn't replace the fronts, I just replaced the rears. The rears are the ones that are known to fail. Now, I know there are owners out there who'll say, no, my front ones went out, or my driver's side went out, my passenger side, whatever it may be. Just be prepared to buy those parts and get them replaced and then installed. Now, you can always go with aftermarket coilovers, because I know the stock or the OEM mag ride shocks are hard to find sometimes. Over a year ago, I had them replaced here. I was fortunate to find them at a GM wholesaler and had a tech install them for me. The number 2, now this shouldn't be a surprise for any car really, is maintain your fluids. Replace them as needed, as the interval suggests in the owner's manual, or whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't care what oil you use, as long as it's the 5W30 that is recommended for this car. Unless you're going to do something special, whether it's racing it like hardcore, and maybe I think there might be different racing oils out there, but this is just for, you know, consumer use as far as what we're talking about here. So maintain the correct oil spec. I'm not exactly brand loyal, but I've used everything from the Amazon oil in this car quite a few times, 0 issues by the way, to AMSOIL, and everything in between, OEM and whatnot. Brake pads. Now, just keep an eye on the wear. No two brake pad sets are alike. No one drives the same. So to each their own as far as when you want to replace yours. I have been using Power Stop brake pads. They give off a little bit less brake dust, which is kind of one of the main reasons I bought it. It does stop well. It doesn't bite quite as hard as OEM pads, but they work fantastic. I've never had issues with them at all. So definitely keep an eye on those brake pads. Cabin filters. That comes up quite a bit, more often than I ever thought they would. Cabin filters are important. It adds to the comfort of the air quality in your car. So change that. I think they recommend every 20,000 miles or whatever. I think it really just depends on how dirty it is. It's not hard to check. I have a video on how to check that here. I'll put it in the description below or somewhere on the screen. It's cheap. I think it's what, $20, $30, $40 part, depending when you buy it, where you buy it. It's probably the most overlooked part in your cabin in any car, really, not just these. People forget about those. The next thing are the drivetrain parts, the internals. LS engines, you know, the lifter noises, the springs, the Valvetrain, the valve springs. Those things wear out, especially at 100,000 miles or so. You might see some wear, you might not. This car, surprisingly, when the tech took it apart, when I did the cam swap at 100,000 miles, all the Valvetrain, he said, were clean, looked really good, looked like it was a 40,000 mile car. Everything came apart easily, so that was great to hear. So just take care of your car, do the oil changes, and Valvetrain should last you a while, but to each their own, because everybody drives different, everybody's oil change habits are different. Do what you got to do. And lastly, this is a fairly new issue for me, was the battery. Keep an eye on your electronics. Have a voltmeter handy to check the voltage of your battery. I think as long as it's holding almost 13 volts or whatever, high 12s, low 13s on your battery, then it should be a good battery. Anything below 12, I believe, don't quote me on that, I'm not a mechanic, is probably a bad sign that something's going wrong with that battery. But these cars are known to have some gremlins and issues and weird things like that. Oh, and one more thing, the AC hose, the crimp on them, they just started wearing out. So there is a new part number. So be on the lookout for that. There's a new part number through GM part suppliers or whatever to order. That's what I did. I ordered it, and I had Chris Jones at RSP Auto replace them for me. So now it's blowing nice and cold. Well, that is it. Hopefully those are some things you can consider and be prepared for. It's not a lot. It's fairly simple stuff. This car has been damn reliable. Sheesh, this car's been great. Still drives well and can't complain. But like I said, pretty much done with messing around with the car. I'm just gonna enjoy it. Go to a few car meets when I can, maybe. Go on leisurely drives when I can. Keep it for a while, because let's be honest here, this type of vehicle is a dying breed. One day I'll have an electric vehicle sitting next to this thing in the garage or something, and people talk about selling their SS's. I don't think I'm going to sell mine anytime soon. I think I'm going to continue enjoying it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you next time.